So guys, I literally just beat Shadows of the Damned, and
It's a weird game.
yeah, I learned you can learn a lot about a man by what he puts between his buns.
It's kind of the lesson that we should all take from the game.
Yeah, and that was like the conclusion. So I mean, the setup for Shadows of the Damned is that this badass demon hunter gets his girlfriend Paula stolen from him, and he fights through all of hell and kills this guy Fleming. And then, if as you've seen in the ending, Garcia saves her, kills Fleming, and then he's just holding her. The credits roll, and then it's just like, you can practically hear the needle scratching across the record as that ending came to a halt. And then you have to like fight Paula, which was
very weird.
Yeah.
She's a demon with giant like angel wings.
Yeah.
And he refers to her as Angel a bunch.
Yeah. Hey, good point.
Throughout the game.
In hell.
In hell, yes.
In hell.
So like, what is her importance? Like, who is she really?
Yeah.
And then the ending kind of further compounds like her mystery. Like, is she actually human, or is she a demon? Is she an angel? Who is this girl?
And I mean, there's some confusion about the ending too, just in because you have that scene after you fight Paula where then you both get covered in shadow and you're just kind of holding her as your health drains, and that's when you get the real final ending. Mm-hmm. And I think it's trying to suggest that like now both of them are just dead and in the underworld for good.
Yeah.
And apparently there are going to be demons that continue coming after Paula forever.
Well, if you go back to the beginning, though, there are demons in his world.
Yeah.
And they're taking Paula away, or the corpse of her, or whatever. It was just crazy with her, like, hanging from a noose, and then the demons crawled out of her body. But the big question for me is, who is this girl? And I think that's probably where they're going to go in the next one is, you thought you were saving her, you thought you were pulling her out of hell, but it turns out that no matter what you did, everything's still messed up. Like, demons are still coming. And obviously there's something really crazy going on with her when her eyes started glowing red. Her outfit changed from white to black, which is always symbolic of good and evil. Mm-hmm. What does that mean? And I think that's where they're going next.
Who do you guys think was on the phone at the end? The person who calls and talks to Garcia for a while.
Hello? You can tell so much about a man from what he puts between his buns.
That was weird because it didn't sound like Fleming.
Yeah, it didn't sound like Fleming, so it's almost like, again, if we're talking about what they're setting up for a potential sequel, maybe there is some greater demon overlord who is who's going to be the antagonist.
I think that's probably your best bet, and I can tell by what I played of that game, and especially like it came through in the ending. Like Mikami and Suda obviously had a blast making that game, and so it's pretty clear that they want to keep going with that. And like they were going to go to Mexico, and he's like, "Oh, I guess Mexico will have to wait because he has to, kill all the demons." But maybe they will have some sort of like, Mexico type motif going on. Maybe that would be like a kind of a hellish Mexico setting for the sequel. I don't know, but I don't know. I guess I was impressed by the ending, especially the post credits with Johnson.
Yeah, that was pretty ridiculous.
Demon keeps dreaming of a demon town. Motherfucker, bitch, fuck, shit went down.
I think his rap pretty much consisted of every curse word that he could string together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can never go wrong with that. But to go back to the very ending, I always like it when a game ends with impending doom, and they do such a nice job of framing that with all those flying demons, like kind of heading toward their apartment. And I'd love it to pick up at that point, but obviously, it never does. It's just kind of a tease, and then you got to get the ball rolling again. However they do that, I hope they get the chance to. I hope the game sells, and we do get to see a sequel.
Yeah, the one thing that's kind of a bummer for me is just that there isn't a lot of story in this game at all until that end. And I mean, that's part of why we want to talk about it, because there's a lot of mystery. We don't really know what's going on, but it bums me out that they didn't spend any more time in this game, like adding some depth to that and getting into the background a little bit. So hopefully, if they do get a chance to do the sequel, it really does flesh that out a little more and isn't just another like, here's a little bit of story at the beginning and a little bit at the end and not much in the middle.
See, I think that's kind of part of its brilliance. You're falling down that rabbit hole for the entire game. Like, what is this about? And then you finally start to get some seeds like that's planted. Maybe the next game is where they can really start describing it. But I thought that was cool. Like, I was engaged every step of the way through that game. Like, there was never a point where I was like, I need more story. Like I wanted to know what was going on for sure, but there wasn't a point where I felt like they were skimping on the experience
for me,
without having it.
It was more, I was engaged in the gameplay, but then I didn't really have a reason to care at all about the story until that last moment. And then I was like, oh man, now that I actually kind of have a reason to have cared about this, I wish that they would have given me more reason throughout the whole game.
Yeah, you see the dynamics between Paula and Garcia, and it comes to life a little bit. And then you also have Johnson floating around. You kind of get this sort of like, him and her, and then like the little sidekick, and you see what could maybe like these characters kind of developed, and then you see a glimpse of, hey, maybe be the three of them next time around. And
co-op maybe?
Hey.
Yeah, playable Paula.
Yeah.
I would do
That'd
that.
be pretty cool.
Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully Mikami and Suda can get back at it.
Yes.
Good conversation, guys.
It was great. So what would you put between your buns?
I would have been a hamburger dude.
Yeah, probably hamburger for me, although I like the pulled pork.
Yeah.
I'll admit that.
Non-straight hamburger.
Yeah, okay.
No chicken here.
No
chicken.
No human flesh? Not yet.
Not yet.
I think that's what they're implying, right? Maybe.
Maybe. I'm hungry.
We shall have fun.